One minute, I have joined with the other device.
Your mic is muted. That is the problem, I think.
Unmuted, madam. Unmuted. Madam, try unmuting now.
So can you hear me, sir?
Now you are able to be heard, madam. You can proceed. இல்லை மேடம், மீட்டிங்கில் வரல. Sir, you could shift the sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You are able to be heard now. You can present, madam. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Sir, can you hear me now? கேக்குதா பேசுறது? உங்களுக்கு கேக்குதா?
Sir, கேக்குதா சார் நான் பேசுறது? ஹலோ கேக்குதா?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please proceed.
ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ. இதுல பேசுறீங்களா? சரி.
Screen share అవుச்சா?
అదే పట్టుకోవచ్చు. మీరు చెప్పండి. Hello, sir.
So very good evening, sir. Good evening.
Very good.
Good evening. I just want to check whether I am audible. Kindly reply. Good evening.
Loud and clear, madam. You can proceed.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry for the technical issue, sir. So I would like to thank Veltech Multitech, Dr. Rangarajan, Dr. Shakuntala Engineering College for giving me this opportunity. So I thank the organizer of this FDP on green energy technologies for sustainable development. I would also thank our HOD, Dr. M. Selvam, and the event coordinator, Dr. S. Muthukumar. So this topic is you have taken it is in a right time. Since the available energy is getting depleted, our grandchildren and great grandchildren are really in the need of such a technology to run their life in a very effective way. I can proceed, is it, sir? Sir, can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So today we are standing at a defining moment in human history. The transition to green energy is not just a technology shift. It is one of the greatest challenges we face, and at the same time, one of the greatest opportunity before us. So for decades, our world has depended on fossil fuels. We've been using coal, oil, and nuclear fuel. Where it has been expected that coal to exist only between 130 to 150 years at current scenario, and our oil is expected to be within 50 years, and the nuclear fuel just 100 years. So yet we are in the very midst of the crisis. So in such a situation, the arising of the renewable energy technologies like solar, wind, hydro and biomass will be a powerful alternative to the arising extraordinary technologies. So this is the urgency of transition to the green energy. It allows a nation to grow economically while thereby reducing the pollution and conserve natural resources in it. So I am again telling you, the choice we make today will determine whether what we leave behind for our grandchildren and great-grandchildren. By embracing green energy, we choose innovation over inertia, sustainability over short-term gains, and responsibility over neglect. We have come across various crises related to the rise of temperature. So this rise of temperature we have heard many people telling around us that there is a drastic rise in the temperature of about 1.5 degrees Celsius. It is extremely due to the greenhouse effects, greenhouse gas like carbon dioxide that has been emitted out due to the burning of the fossil fuels. So our extreme temperature have risen, and the sea level is about to rise faster, and our life of the coral reefs and ecosystem has collapsed, and it is a great threat to the human being. So keeping this in regards, the Paris Agreement have signed a global agreement in 2015 that all the United Nations, all the countries to come together, and they should raise the problem, whatever is being addressed related to this rise in the temperature, so that they could find an alternate solution. So this Paris Agreement had paved a way for the rising green energy technologies. So when we are going to delay, we will be missing our future. So it is the right time to switch on to this green energy technologies. So this one situation is we are devastating. Everything is getting extinct, and everything is get washed out. Another thing, the existing burning of nuclear fuels and the coal and all those things are producing more of greenhouse effects and greenhouse gases, which accumulates heat energy and thereby bringing a very drastic effects to the environment and the ecosystem. This nuclear fuels, even though they doesn't emit much of carbon dioxide, but still we are finding out the uranium resources or any radioactive material is really a very challenging task, and also it leads to many catastrophic accidents even. So again, even though this type of nuclear energy produces less toxic and less effluence, but still they charge more and the risk factor is more. Considering all this factor into account, it is good that we move on to the green and clean power generation. So the primary source of green energy would be the solar panels. So nowadays, when we go across various states of India, it's just like Bangalore and many other states, you can see they're using the primary source of energy as the solar panels. You can see every individual house are using a solar panel to generate electricity. So this sense of consciousness have brought about more production of the solar panels, and the energy production has been increased from 40 gigawatts to 1,200 gigawatts in this within this short span of years. So this again has dropped down the cost of solar panels. Many people started using this solar panel. They found a very easy and alternative way of fabricating, and the energy consumption is being increased with use of solar panels. And then we have the wind power energy. So we can see the two countries which we maximally use as wind power is the Denmark and United Kingdoms. They are gaining their energy, 50% electricity only from this wind power harvesting. So they have been a role model for most of the countries. And India, we have started using this wind power energy harnessing using this wind power, where we again produce 35% of the annual electrical energy using this wind power. And then we have the hydropower. The one main defect of this hydropower is that it is very important, like we need to find alternate solutions to this fossil fuels, but the hydropower again paves a good way, but still we have some drawbacks in using this hydropower even. First of all, we need to understand how this hydropower energy works. It is important to understand that hydrogen The hydropower provides 16% of the global electricity, making it the largest renewable source by total generation. Its reliability and dispatchability making it invaluable for grid stability, balancing variable solar and wind output. So the reliability of hydropower, like whenever we have abundant of water, this abundant of water can be turned to produce electricity, and we don't have any when we don't have abundant of water, we can just restrict the energy production due to this hydroelectric power. And one more thing, when we are going to opt this hydroelectric power, when this hydroelectric power drastically changes the flow rate of the water in the rivers. Once it has been released due to the overdump, it washes away the living environment in the surrounding, and it also again produces the emission of some ammonia gases due to the decay of the substances below the sea. So again, this has to be considered when we use this hydroelectric power. This drastically disrupts the ecosystem. It disturbs the water flow rate. It disturbs the sediments that is required for the ecosystem, which is trapped under the water, and it disturbs the fish migration routes are blocked using this. And ultimately, methane emissions becomes more from these reservoirs. So whatever we are going to lay, we have to be cautious enough in laying the foundations and following the protocols. So after this, we have the biomass and bioenergy. This is again our alternative source of energy production. You can see here. So a drastic effect is to reduce the greenhouse effect. This greenhouse effects contributes to the more energy in the environment, which again leads to the change in the biodiversity. So what we can do is, like, in this biomass and bioenergy production, we are using the residues of forest waste and the organic plants. These organic plants in turn requires carbon dioxide as a food to grow. Once they grow, they can be crushed for the power production. It will become a bioproduct. With that, we can produce the energy. The bioproduct, the carbon dioxide is emitted out of these powers, can again be used as a food for the plants. So here, there's a circular carbon solution. A solution is provided to recycle the carbon here. And then the most demanding, we can say the most demanding energy in this current scenario is the hydrogen energy. We can call it as the energy carrier of tomorrow. It is important to understand that hydrogen does not exist freely in nature. Even though it is more abundant element in the universe on Earth, it is almost available in a combined form, either with oxygen in water or with carbon in fossil fuels. Because it is very reactive, it cannot stand alive. It cannot stand isolated. So this brings us to the next point. Hydrogen is made using energy. One common method, as we all know, is the hydrolysis process, where the electricity is passed over water, where the water and hydrogen get split up. The energy we use in this process is stored inside the hydrogen molecules as chemical energy. So this hydrogen, they can be stored in containers and they can be transported through pipelines to the place wherever we require energy. Finally, when we need the energy, hydrogen, that can be released this can be done in two main ways. The first is combustion, where hydrogen is burned to produce heat, forming only water as a byproduct. The second and the most efficient method is using fuel cells. In fuel cell, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to produce electricity, heat and water without releasing carbon dioxide. And another prominent technology which I would like to discuss is about the peroxide solar cells. As most of us would have not come across this cell, it is a type of it is one of the type of a material which has been embedded on the solar panels and also on the batteries. They usually have a silicon solar cells. Okay, so this material peroxide is again placed above the silicon solar cells. Mostly the silicon solar cells, they're capable of trapping 20 to 22% of the solar energy only. Since we have a spectrum of sunlight passing on the battery, entire spectrum cannot be attracted by the silicon solar cells. So the other leftouts, the other remaining energy can be trapped using this peroxide solar cell. This layer produces a tandem peroxide silicon solar cells having a potential of which reaches the efficiency of 40% and above. Again, there are more researches are going on this topic. So PG students and the doctorate and the research scholars can work on this, use this peroxide material coated on the normally available solar panels and the batteries, and they can work on to increase efficiency, thereby increasing the better output. And then we have all come across the solid state, liquid state batteries. So in any batteries, we have the lithium ion in the liquid form. Okay. Now we have a new technology called solid state batteries, which empowers the EV revolution nowadays. So at present, most electric vehicles use lithium ion batteries, as we are all very much aware of that. So these batteries contains a liquid electrolyte that allow lithium ions to move between the electrodes. So while this technology has enabled the growth of electrical vehicles, it also has limitations such as safety risk and then energy density. It does not stay for a long time, where the vehicles have to stay for 1 and 2 hours for charging unit. So all these issues can be just overcome by the solid state batteries. So these challenges are addressed in the solid state batteries. This single change leads to several major advantages. First, the solid electrolytes are non-flammable, and then they greatly improve the battery life, and the risk of fire becomes less here. And then the resilient property is also again increased by the use of these solid state batteries. And then we have the floating offshore wind farms. So we have seen the wind farms, very standard wind farms everywhere, but now here they have a project on floating wind farms. So wherever the availability of winds is abundant, wherever we want to replace the wind farms, we can just move across the rivers and seas, and this wind farms can be replaced. And wherever the energy is required, we can just generate energy using this floating offshore wind farms. So again, going to a new place and laying them install, and all this time-consuming process can be reduced. So it is one of the new technology that is in. So again, we can see that foreign countries, Scotland, they are employed most